One of the best parts of playing Final Fantasy XIV isn't just the game itself, it's the community. But making friends in an MMO can feel intimidating, especially if it's your first MMO or if you were just starting in a new game. So I wanted to help by making a list of just a handful of my favorite ways that I've made friends in Eorzea. Now, my name is Pyra. If you haven't met me, I've been playing the game for just over 10 years, and if I'm being honest, my closest friends have come from meeting in this game. I've done everything from meeting a lot of my friends IRL from this game. I've lived with some people that I met through this game, and I've just made really lifelong connections that I couldn't imagine without having played Final Fantasy XIV. And while not all of your closest friends may come from this game, it is really rewarding to make friends in the game, and I thought that I would set up a little list of how to do that. So tip number one is just existing, just saying hi. I think sometimes, especially if you're a shy person or an introvert, sometimes it's really hard to think of ways to just like talk to people or think if you're gonna sound stupid or silly, but really, we're all thinking it. We're all thinking that in the back of our brain, and sometimes just existing in the game, doing the things that you like doing, and saying hi is great. Honestly, that's how I met the people in my FC as a core. I just ran around the Goblet, which is where my house has been, and I started Manderville dancing in the middle of the Goblet with my neighbors, and we ended up being really good friends. So sometimes a little gesture like that works. If you're a funny person, doing something that's true to you and just saying hi usually is enough. Usually, like, don't even overthink it. Just say hi, do some funny emotes. Yeah, sometimes even just sparking a conversation is the best thing that you can do to start seeing people and getting them to notice you. Tip number two is, if it is something of your jam, joining a raid group. So joining a static or a raid group for any type of content, anything from extremes to savages to ultimates, can be really good if that is the type of content that you like, because you're kind of part of a group. So you're one of 8 in a lot of this type of content, and you can bond over your prog points, over the wipes, the struggles, the clears, everything in between. Depending on the type of gameplay you like, you can usually get a really good bonding moment with these people, especially if you're in content with them for hours a week, hours a day. And so, as much of joining a raid group is for the objective of the clear, usually you can spawn a lot of friendships in the middle of that as well. Tip number 3 is basically just doing party finder content. Duty Finder, of course, if you queue up through the regular Duty Finder system, it is very easy for people to come and go, maybe have some conversations in there as well. However, Party Finder content, I feel like, can lead to random friendships or just kind of more targeted instances where people are doing something that they really want. And so I think by joining a party finder, it can sometimes be really good if you end up vibing with someone, maybe send them a tell or a friend request. You can do anything in the party finder, from doing extremes and savages and ultimates to maybe just doing a map party to, hey, people are just inviting to do a silly game in the Goblet. I've definitely seen that before where people are doing like a hide and seek. And so the party finder is a really good space to kind of find things that you like to do, and sometimes the people that are hosting them are your people. They might be interested in a lot of the same things that you are. So sometimes just going out on a limb and finding those people is a really great way to find people that like the same things that you like. Tip number 4 is social media. So this is also a big origin story of how I came to do streaming, and I came to know some of the friends that have been very crucial to not just my game experience, but my life, but being an active member in certain kind of niche communities back in, say, like 2016? I think 2016, 2017 into 2018, I was actually big into G-post / like screenshot community on Instagram. And for me, I ended up following and kind of like becoming mutuals with a lot of really cool people on that platform that were in love with the same things that I was. Really, everything to do the screenshotting was mostly just like just taking really fun pictures of your character, sharing your really cool glams, trying to get like the perfect screenshot in the middle of a dungeon or something before G pose is even put into the game. And you know, if you're a social media person, it may be good to try to find people that are kind of in your niche, and it's a really great way to connect outside of gameplay. I've been able to kind of find really creative people that have become lifelong friends, and I think that that's a really cool way to stay in that contact outside of just the gaming experience with things that may not be easy to share or kind of like connect with over the game. Tip number 5 is going to be free companies. So free companies, it is really difficult on one hand and really easy on the other. So I think with free companies, on one hand, the thing that's easy is you can find a free company anywhere. People, when you start in a zone, you'll get free company invites left and right. I think the main thing to remember is that FCs are great and it's never going to be the perfect fit the first time around, or it's going to be very rare. I think FCs are kind of like therapists, where I've heard where like if you find a therapist and if it doesn't vibe for you, it doesn't mean that therapists in general won't be good. It just means that that one therapist doesn't work with you and you should find another one. And I think FCs are the same way. I think FCs are tough because you might have to go through multiple FCs to find your perfect one. But on the pro side to FCs is that that's your kind of nest. That is like a group of people that you can share an FC house with, you share an FC chat with, and you can end up feeling pretty chill in the FC. I've been in a lot of FCs that have done very like extensive events and community things, and so finding the FC that is perfect for you can be a really great way to find friends in Final Fantasy. Now, if you're trying to figure out what free company to join, I suggest a few different things. PF can sometimes be a really great way to find different free companies. As well, the community finder, the Final Fantasy XIV's community finder can be another really good way because you can kind of go window shopping for the FC that's the best. You can also check like Reddits, Discords. Pretty much there are a lot of different places to look up where people are recruiting for an FC, and sometimes it's good to just join one and try it out. And if you don't vibe with them, don't feel bad for leaving. Sometimes there's that awkwardness of like, oh, why did you leave? Or, you know, like, I'm gonna bounce, but really try to find the one that is perfect for you, and that should definitely help. Now, tip number 6 is going to be Twitch/streamer communities. This is going to be specific to, I think, certain people. I think this tip may not work for everybody. However, I can see this tip as both somebody who streams as well as just somebody who watches streamers on Twitch. Now, for me, as a Twitch streamer, I have made a lot of friends and connections because I'm a Twitch streamer by either having people join in my community and becoming friends that way over time, or making friends with fellow content creators and streamers because of our mutual love of both Final Fantasy as well as content creation. And as a viewer, I've been able to make friends based on kind of following certain people. So I may follow a certain content creator and find that their community is super warm and welcoming and inviting. And that is a really good way to kind of like find other like-minded people that are part of that nice space. And the thing that's really great is that if you do follow a Twitch streamer that has a really positive community or like has community that resonates with you, you may be able to just kind of have a nice big pool of people to hang out with and talk to every day, and sometimes that extends outside of the Twitch platform. So the biggest thing there is find the energy that matches yours and the vibe that matches yours for both the streamer as well as their community. And tip number 7, my final tip for how to find friends in Final Fantasy XIV, or I guess around Final Fantasy XIV, is Discord communities. So through the love of Final Fantasy XIV, a lot of Discord communities have spawned up. Anything from free companies to streamer communities, certain raid-specific communities, map parties, deep dungeons, you name it. There is a niche community everywhere. What I like to do is I'll kind of find them from people that I speak with, or Reddit, or Twitch, or sometimes in Party Finder. There will be different links to different Discords, and sometimes it's just good to jump in and see what those people are doing. Sometimes it's easier to chat and to stay connected because you don't have to be logged into the game to have a conversation. So maybe at your lunch break at work, you can chat with people, or, you know, maybe you're just not able to log into the game, but you're always able to stay connected and have conversations. And it's easy to make those friendships outside of game that end up kind of going back into Final Fantasy XIV, and friendships that can kind of carry beyond the game as well. I find with Discord communities, I have my own that I'll post the link to below, that everybody in the community has joined it through their love of Final Fantasy XIV, as well as maybe they're interested in my content. And the thing that's really great about that is that we are able to chat about everything that we love in-game, as well as other games that we really love and enjoy. And so we're able to do fun things like map parties, or getting people through their first ultimate, or getting people through their first extreme. And we're just able to chill inside and outside a game, and it's like a nice open space where, you know, we don't have to wait for people to log on to the game in order to do things. It kind of transcends the game, but we're all there with the similar loves and interests, and it's a nice way to keep the conversation going. And so that is 7 of my top ways that I find friends in Final Fantasy XIV, that I've had really good luck with making friends and making connections. Like I said, my closest friends have been found from playing this game in one way or another, and for me, I find it to be one of the most rewarding experiences of playing Final Fantasy XIV. So to recap, say hi, network a little, put yourself out there, and find people based on what you love, whether it's raiding, whether it's doing casual content, whether it's through your favorite Twitch streamer, or through finding a free company. Just really try to say hi to people and find your people. Don't feel like you have to be stuck by a group that's not working for you. There's so many different groups of people in this game. So that's the one most beautiful thing about it, is that you can really find anybody, and if one group doesn't work, move on to the next. Now, thank you so much for watching, friends. Let me know in the comments below, how did you make your first Final Fantasy XIV friend? Or is there anything that I missed on my list? Let me know. And if you like this video and other Final Fantasy XIV news, updates, tips, etc., hit the like button and hit that subscribe button. It means a lot to me and it helps out the channel. And we will see you in game. Bye!